The other thing is very much around the safety of overall nuclear. And nuclear's been around for a long time, but when people think about the fact that humans are running this massive thing, that if one thing goes wrong, you could have you could ruin, devastate an entire country or an entire area. Is that something that people should be worried about? And what is the safety like? And why should we trust that people can actually protect us behind these nuclear operators in a way?
Well, I think the best answer to that would be to look at the evolution of aircraft. If you said you don't want to fly to Johannesburg today because of the high crash rate of biplanes in the 20s, people would say, well, you're crazy. There's been a lot of advances. There have also been a lot of advances in nuclear power, and the principles used in new nuclear power plants in the VVER, as well as other designs from the U.S., the AP1000s that are being built in China, they use what they call passive safety systems, so that if all the power goes out and the operators die and the plant is running at full power, the laws of physics will shut it down. It doesn't rely on switches and valves and things that can break. It just relies on the laws of physics, and those aren't changing. So the newer designs are extraordinarily safe. That being said, even the reactors we have today have a tremendous safety record in terms of deaths per unit of energy produced. Probably better than wind, definitely better than solar, or any of the fossil fuels.
Absolutely. The safety record is pretty high par se Fukushima, but the fear is, it's more of an imagined fear as opposed to nuclear energy experts will always say that look at our safety records, it's perfect, or it's pretty damn good, but it's the imagined fear that reigns in people's minds, is that yes, your safety record's pretty good, but it just takes one person or one thing to go wrong, and suddenly the whole of Cape Town, it has to be evacuated for 100 years.
Well, which is why the new designs should put people's minds at rest, because it doesn't require operator intervention, and it doesn't require mechanical intervention. It simply relies on the laws of physics, and they're not going to change.
Finally, what would you like to tell South Africans when it comes to nuclear energy and the government?
Well, I would just point out that South Africa is in kind of a unique situation. There's a great disparity of wealth in the country, and there is in the United States too. Don't get me wrong, but in South Africa, it's a historical situation where you have a lot of people that have a very low standard of living and a lot that have a high standard of living. The people with a high standard of living certainly don't want to give it up, and that's completely understandable. So, and yet you want to be able to advance and to let everybody's standard of living rise. So, I was supposed to speak at universities this week, and I did at some. I wasn't able to at one university because of the student unrest. You've got a situation where the students started out resisting tuition hikes, and now that's kind of moved into a demand for free university education, which I think is the best investment that South Africa could ever make. It's a debate that's going on in the United States. Many European countries have free university education. The United States doesn't, and South Africa doesn't. But if you want to really create an egalitarian society, you need a lot of energy and you need a lot of education. So, nuclear power absolutely can provide the energy, and if the regulatory pathway is made clear, it can do it at a very economical price.